Hello everyone. So this seems to be becoming a thing, is me recording videos after I leave the gym. But have a little quick message that I wanted to share with you all. But before I do that, I want to say that I hope that everyone had a safe and enjoyable holiday this past weekend. My prayers are definitely with all those who have been affected in the Bahamas from Hurricane Dorian, and those that may be in its path as it continues to do whatever it is going to do. But in addition to praying for those who have been affected in the Bahamas and possibly in other areas as well, as the hurricane continues on its path, we want to be practical in our concern and our prayers by also giving financially. So that means donating to a reputable organization, whether that's a charity or your church or any other organization that you are part of, that will make sure that those finances are then given directly to those that are in need to help them in a process of recovery, or even connected with an organization and donating non-perishable food and also hygiene items as well. But you want to make sure, again, you first connect with a reputable organization, find out just what exactly that they need, whether that's money or donation of items, and then donate accordingly. So again, we're praying, but we're also going to be practical in our prayers as well. So the title of this message is It's Time to Tell Your Story. Some of you who are watching this video, you are living lives that are full of pain and hurt and rejection and abandonment and secrecy and denial because you will not tell your story. So it is time for you to tell your story. It is time for you to stop living bound by what has happened to you, what continues to happen to you, because again, those cycles are just continuing to repeat themselves, and it's time to end it today. So I'm just going to go through a couple of ways that you can begin to share your story, and we'll go from there. So first way, tell your story to a licensed therapist. You're probably shocked that that is the first thing that I mentioned, but truth be told is that there is a stigma associated with getting counseling and working with a licensed professional, especially in communities of color and also religious communities as well. If you were to break your leg or have a heart attack or be diagnosed with a terminal illness, there would be no question or any one looking at you funny or some type of way because of the fact that you went to saw a specialist in regards to that particular issue. Well, it should be the same thing with your mind, your brain, your mental health, your emotional health. It's just as important. And so when it comes to telling your story, some of you all need to go and to tell your story to a licensed professional who can not just listen to you vent, like your friend, your best friend, or whoever it is that you talk to, about different things you have going on in life. And I'm not saying that there's something necessarily wrong with talking with your friends, but there's some things, one, you don't need to talk to your friends about. You need to go and talk to a licensed professional as well. So call your insurance company, find out what your mental health benefits are, or reach out to organizations who offer counseling on a sliding scale. So that means that you actually pay according what you can afford instead of paying a therapist full fee, or even look into doing group therapy sessions. Those are typically more cost efficient as opposed to going to see a therapist one-on-one. But make sure that you tell your story to a licensed therapist, because not only are they equipped to be able to hear what you have gone through, but are also equipped to help you to process and to move through it. And they will not judge you for it. They're not going to go and blast your business all over the place because they are bound by laws when it comes to even working with you. So it is time to tell your story to a licensed professional so that you can stop just venting, and instead you can do the work to be able to move through and to heal from what has occurred. Second way you can tell your story is by volunteering at an organization, whether that's a youth organization or a women's organization or going into prisons or going to halfway homes or transitional housing facilities or shelters, or being part of a professional organization that services men or women or even both, and sharing the wisdom of your story. So you can volunteer, you can become a mentor to a young person or even to an adult as well, and to share just exactly what you have gone through, but also again the wisdom and the strategy. It's not just about venting, it's about sharing the resources that you have learned and the wisdom and strategy so that you can equip the person to either, one, avoid the mistakes that you have made, or to two, to be able to move forward a lot more quickly than you did because they're able to again glean from your wisdom. Another way you can share your story is journaling, and this is actually related to step number one of telling your story to a professional therapist, is that go buy the journal. You know, instead of having it be a secret about, you know, what has happened to you or what goes on in your family and what's happened to you and your mom or your dad or siblings or cousins or aunts and uncles, and perpetuating a cycle where now those same cycles of abuse and hurt and pain continues to happen generation after generation, you can be the one to stop it by, one, being honest about what has occurred, and just getting it out. But depending again upon what has happened, journaling will not be enough. You will need to journal in addition to working with a licensed professional or someone, you know, who is equipped to help you to process through what has happened, to give you positive coping skills to be able to deal with what you have experienced as well. Another way that you can go ahead and share your story is actually formalizing it. Instead of just volunteering and, you know, being a mentor or a coach or, you know, going to different organizations, you can actually start a business and do it and become a life coach, or do workshops or go and speak at different organizations, whether it's youth organizations or organizations for men or women or professional organizations for women and men. You can go and to do that, and again, to share wisdom. It's not about making money to vent and getting paid just to vent, you know, about what you have gone through, but it's really about sharing your story in a where sharing your story in a way where you are sharing the wisdom and strategies and tools to be able to equip someone else to be able to overcome what they have gone through, whether it's a similar story or to avoid some of the pitfalls that you have gone through yourself. Of course, one of the ways that you can share your story is to write a book. I'm a big proponent of that. You know, I have 2 books that are out. My first book is an inspirational novel. It's titled Walking Through the Pain. It is not my story. It is a novel. It's a fictitious story. However, I did use the pain of my past to write that book so that it would be more than entertainment. And to be completely honest, when I just feel so honored and just blessed and thankful that so many people have been empowered and touched by that story. But to be honest, it was also just another level of release even for me. I've gone to counseling, professional counseling, as well as spiritual counseling as well. So things that I'm telling to you all, I have done. I used to journal as well. But, you know, again, just writing a book, that is a good way to be able to share, again, the wisdom of what you're going through, not just, you know, venting out, you know, and venting in a way or sharing in a way that really is more appropriate for you to do in a counseling session, you know, with a licensed professional. But again, writing a book is another way for you to be able to tell your story. Becoming a professional speaker, you know, whether that's doing workshops or going to travel around the country or even the world, you know, to be able to share the wisdom and strategies and tools, you know, of what you've gone through in order to help others who have a similar story or background from you. So it is time to tell your story. It is time to stop being bound by the secrecy of what you have gone through. It's time to stop being in denial of what has happened, because truth be told, you're going through physical ailments and you're not having healthy relationships and experiences, you know, with those around you, whether it's in work or with friends or with your family. And it's really because you haven't dealt with the mental and emotional effects of what you have gone through. And so it's time to stop being in denial of it and pretending it didn't happen. It's time to be honest about the fact that there's some people you may have to cut off, whether that's family or friends who continue to be stuck in that cycle of abuse and hurt and pain or whatever it is, and just perpetuating unhealthy cycles and how they deal with themselves and those around them. And it's time for you to stop holding it all in, stop holding it as a secret, and decide to go and tell someone, whether that's either telling it to a licensed therapist, journaling in addition to going to see a licensed therapist, writing a book, becoming a speaker, volunteering, whatever it is. It's time for you to tell your story. So go and do that there. Do the research. Find out how to start the business. Go to the store after you've watched this video and go and purchase the journal. After this video is over, look up your mental health benefits. Again, find a therapist in your area. Go ahead and reach out today. Send an email, make the phone call so that you can go ahead and to tell your story. It is time to stop being bound with what has happened to you, because you are not just what has happened to you. You are more than what has happened to you. And you do not have to live an unfulfilled, unhappy life because of the fact that you will not tell your story. So I hope you guys have a great evening. Take care, or have have a great day depending on when you watch this, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.